Well, neighbors in Robstown have united together in the wake of a tragedy. Tonight, the exclusive message from local leaders after a teen was killed and another shot. Plus, changes coming to the Coastal Bend's largest school district in the area. We'll tell you why and the impact it's leaving on students and staff.
Hey everybody, it's Tyrese Boone, your neighborhood news reporter. I'm going to give you the rundown coming up on the 5 p.m. show about the Turkey for Troops event, coming up really shortly.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. We lead things off tonight with changes that could be coming to the largest school district in the Coastal Bend. CCISD is considering closing 7 schools due to a $27 million deficit. Now, the district says they've lost between 4,000 and 5,000 students since 2020, creating the financial shortfall. Superintendent Roland Hernandez says the schools being considered for closure have low enrollment, allowing other campuses to absorb displaced students without overcrowding.
But if we look in the bigger picture, if we were to go with all 7 campuses, we could potentially reach a savings of almost $11 million.
The district says transportation will be provided to all affected students. The first community input session is December 8th, with the board expecting to make a final decision in January. Well, we took a look at enrollment numbers for the district. 6 Investigates dug into the numbers and found Corpus Christi ISD has lost more than 3,500 students over the past 5 years. That's nearly a 10% drop. Enrollment was at its highest back in 2019 with more than 36,000 students, but by last year, that number had fallen to just over 33,000, according to data from the Texas Education Agency. Now, the biggest hit came during the pandemic when the district lost more than 2,100 students in just 1 year. But here's some good news. According to CCISD's annual report, last year enrollment was up for the first time since before COVID. Well, the search continues for suspects in Tuesday's fatal shooting of a Robstown teen. 14-year-old Sean Sanchez was shot outside an apartment complex on Ruben Chavez Road. An 18-year-old identified as Elias Eric Rivera was arrested on Wednesday. He's been charged with murder. Robstown police say they are still looking for at least 2 other suspects. According to investigators, the murder of Sean Sanchez was connected to the shooting of a 16-year-old boy this past weekend. Well, Chris 6 News has an exclusive coverage of gathering at the Robstown City Hall, where local officials met to pray and discuss ways to prevent violence and move the city forward. Our neighborhood news reporter Stephanie Molina was there to hear what leaders had to say.
We'll pick up the pieces when your kids make mistakes. Trust me, we'll be there. But your job is to keep them from making those mistakes. And that's the message that I ask everybody in this room to stand behind me with. We will do our jobs. But parents need to step up and they do their jobs.
Well, to watch the full meeting, go to christv.com and look for this story. Well, the Ride for a Cure rodeo planned for this weekend in Kingsville has been postponed after organizers decided it wasn't safe for the horses. Earlier this month, a horse at a large event in Waco tested positive for equine herpes virus. Veterinarians say the virus can cause fever and respiratory problems, and in severe cases can affect a horse's nervous system.
They'll get down and not able to rise, and the neurologic symptoms are so bad that the best thing to do would be to euthanize them.
State officials say there are no sick horses in the Coastal Bend, but out of abundance of caution, they're urging anyone planning to attend a show to stay home for now. They say people can carry the virus on their hands, clothing, or equipment and pass it onto horses without realizing it. And the hailstorm that hit the area back in early November had a devastating impact on the local marine bird population, but it has also become a treasure trove in scientific information. The Heart Research Institute shared these images of the birds killed. Over 1,800 water birds were killed on Shamrock Island. 1,400 of those birds were brown pelicans. About 30 other species of birds were also killed. called the Conservation, a biodiversity program, tells us Shamrock Island is one of the 5 largest water bird colonies in the state. They are now studying the hailstorm impact on this bird colony. Now, Dale Gottlieb, the group's indoor chair, tells us the storm was a rare event because of the size of the hail it produced. So far, his research of climate history seems to show that storms that produce hail larger than 1 inch will be more common in the future. All of the research on this bird kill is expected to be published in about a year. Well, let's bring in meteorologist Stephanie Labernat with the first look at the weather outside. And what we saw was obviously pretty devastating right there.
Yeah, and so thankfully, while we wait for rain, I don't think we'll have to deal with issues of hail or anything like that. But we're just trying to get rain at this point. And again, want to set that expectation very low. We are just looking for measurable rainfall, but we've already seen more rain today than yesterday. Take a look at the radar, that thin line riding along the coast of Texas. That is what we're waiting to come together, and it has been developing here really over the last, say, hour and a half. This afternoon, this line has been picking up, and I'm going to show you exactly what we've been waiting for coming up in a few minutes and why we haven't seen the rain just yet, what's pushing our timeline back. But if we look closer, you can see a few little green showers on the radar here. Looking even closer at our coastal neighborhoods, you can see how that's kind of lining up right along the coast. So if you haven't seen rain yet, there's still hope that before the night is over, you will see rain. Actually, those chances will be picking up into the weekend too. Will it impact those weekend plans? We're going to go through the details, what we know so far, and what those changes could look like for different parts of the coastal bend. We'll walk you through it all neighborhood by neighborhood coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, the 9th annual Turkeys for Troops is underway at Mike Shaw Toyota in Robstown. It's a special partnership we have with Mike Shaw to give free turkeys to those who served. That's where we find our neighborhood news reporter, Tyrese Boone. Tyrese, how's it looking out there?
Hey, Clara, it's looking great. It's been such a long line with this today. As you can see, there's no cars now, but there's been hundreds of thousands of cars coming here to Mike Shaw Toyota to get their free turkey. Now, who is the free turkey for? All the veterans in the coastal bend. If you would like to get a turkey, there's still 200 turkeys left. All you have to do is come to Mike Shaw Toyota and come in, bring your government ID, your military ID, or your discharge papers, and you'll get your free bird. So once again, so far, there's only 200 birds left. It's been an exciting day so far. Free food, free music. It's been such a great time, Clara. And if you guys are still listening, veterans, if you're still listening, there's still birds. There's still free birds out here. If you want to get that, feel free to come down to Mike Shaw Toyota for the 9th annual Turkey for Troops. Signing out, your neighborhood news reporter, Tyrese Boone.
All right, Tyrese, thank you so much. Well, a fallen Marine from Orange Grove will be honored tomorrow with a memorial 5K run. Neighborhood news reporter Melissa Trevino met with Corpus Christi resident Jaden Barnes, who's organizing the event in memory of Lance Corporal Colton Rusk. Rusk was killed in action December 6, 2010 in Afghanistan. The first Colton Rusk 5K run was held in Orange Grove back in 2019. The following year, there was no run because of the pandemic. Now, Jaden Barnes says he brought the run back to keep Colton Rusk's memory alive.
From what I've heard, he was such a caring, kind, and loving man, and I would just want them to know that he was a great person. He really is a hero, and he's something, I can model off of.
Well, Barnes hopes to raise $10,000 to support the Coastal Bend Scholarship Fund for Orange Grove High School seniors. Tomorrow's race begins at 7:30 a.m. at Cole Park. Runners can register on site from 6:30 to 7:30 in the morning.
Home sweet home. I'm Ana Conejo outside at Center, where 9 children have found their forever home. I speak to parents who are excited to expand their families.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
It's National Adoption Awareness Month, and inside the center, lives change forever. I'm Ana Conejo, your neighborhood news reporter in Corpus Christi, speaking with families who started a brand new chapter. It's a day filled with many emotions for 8 families who finalized their adoptions just in time for the holidays. Welcoming children they say connected with instantly.
My family has adopted previously, and I saw the impact that it can make on a child's life, and that was our calling to help as many children as we could.
Inside the Nueces County Juvenile Justice Center, the Gaitan family dream came true, adopting a 2-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy, making their family of 7 complete.
They're great kids. Unfortunately, they go through so much at a young age.
The Seaman family also began a new chapter.
The moment we met him, I was like, he's my son.
Yeah.
It was such a natural connection.
All the way from Palacios, Texas, the couple drove nearly 2 hours to fulfill their dreams of becoming parents, meeting their 11-year-old son at an adoption festival in Portland.
He's just got a good heart.
He's a dream come true. He loves soccer. He loves spending time with us.
Now both families are starting a new chapter, encouraging others to look into adoption, something they say changes lives for the better.
They need you, and believe it or not, you probably need them just as much as they need you.
CPS says 65 children in Nueces County are still waiting for a loving home. If you or anybody is interested in becoming a foster or adopted parent, head to our website at christv.com. In Corpus Christi, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Ana Conejo, Chris 6 News.
Anna, thank you. And if you're thinking about adoption, the state has specific requirements you'll need to meet. You must be at least 21 years old and financially stable. The process includes background checks, home visits, and mandatory training. Officials say the requirements help ensure children are placed in safe, loving homes. Well, now let's look at our traffic on this Friday. Let's send things over to Stephanie Lauber. Hi, Steph.
Hey, glad I'm getting ready for that last commute home of the week, and it's looking busy out here on SPID. You know what's always funny to me is the bottlenecking happens right under the flyover for the crosstown interchange. Doesn't ever seem to be on the ramp. So let's take you to the maps now and show you. If you're coming down 37, not looking like much trouble. Downtown has some activity, but nothing too slow out there outside of the normal. And again, that slowdown where the crosstown interchanges with SPID, we're seeing it really back up some more there. The latest update is on the SPID side from about Greenwood to Castorias. Once you get past that, we're moving. Saratoga is a little busy around the crosstown out to Castorias, so keep that in mind. And Staples, the usual slowdown, is doing its thing. So as you head out, make sure you stay safe and drive safe. Stick around. I've got more details on our rain forecast coming up. All right, a beautiful view from the CCAC camera. This is the one that sits out at Snoopy's, and by all accounts, it is a beautiful golden hour taking shape here across the coastal bend, particularly along the coast. But you see all that texture on the Laguna? That is our sign that it's a little breezy out there, and there is a weather maker nearby us that is shaking things up. So let's tell you about how we got to this point where we're still not seeing rain. We're a little behind schedule. The rain, you could say, is on Steph time, but we are looking to see more of that developing as we head into the overnight, and I'll explain exactly what ingredients we're waiting for and what that timing probably looks like so you can make your Friday night plans and hop into those weekend activities, especially the weekend before a holiday week, right? You don't need me to tell you that it's been incredibly hot today, at least for November standards. We've been sitting about a comfortable 10 degrees hotter than we typically would expect to be for this time of the year. But today we were pushing 90 for a lot of neighborhoods, and the number to beat in Corpus Christi, 91 degrees. I was forecasting 89. I think we easily made that, but how close are we going to get to that record? We'll find out here coming up on Chris 6 News at 6. We haven't seen a whole lot of movement, but now that we're starting to lose daylight, those temperatures are finally coming back down to the lower 80s here in town and closer to the coast. But the inland neighborhoods are still feeling the heat. 88 degrees in Freer, feeling like 90. 89 in George West, feeling like 93. 85 in Alice, feeling like 91. So the humidity obviously still has an influence in our forecast, meaning we still have water in place for the rain. Here's what's going on. Let's talk about the dew point temperature. We've been keeping track of these every single day this week because this helps us understand where we have the most water in the air above us. And a good chunk of the coastal bend has that available water ready to be tapped into for rainfall. But do you see this dark shade of green right here on the side of the map? Kind of lines up with the Highway 59 corridor. I want you to keep track of where that is on this map because when I show you this, our front, we're so close, so close. This is just outside of where all of that moisture is ready to tap into. But We're close enough for some of those showers to be popping up to the north of the coastal bend and the Victoria Crossroads. We've been watching that throughout the afternoon here over the past few hours. This is going to continue to weeble wobble a little bit closer to us. Our front has again lost its oomph. That's why it's red and blue, not like this solid blue line here. So the front is fizzling out on our doorstep. We need it to be right on the threshold so that we can get that line of showers to come to fruition. And I think that will happen tonight. Feels like it's right on time, but later than we'd like it to be, right? So as we head through tonight, you can expect some rain across our neighborhoods closer to where that front is. That timeline looks like this, and it's actually going to carry over into Saturday morning. So if you had plans to be up early tomorrow, maybe you were heading out to do some shopping for Thanksgiving, keep in mind you might have a few showers to contend with. Notice we're not seeing that line graph way up here, widespread washout. This is again going to be scattered activity across the coastal bend that begins late tonight and then carries over into the early morning hours on Saturday. And at this point, it now looks like Saturday is where we're going to get the bulk of our rainfall. Again, the goal is just measurable rain. So Future Tracker shows that line coming together tonight, and it's not going to be a whole lot, but as things develop during the overnight, that's where these showers start to manifest into more substantial rain throughout your Saturday. And some oranges, reds on the map, that means measurable rainfall, and it happens to be more likely for the inland neighborhoods where our water supply is. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. More opportunities through the start of the week, and then we're looking forward to a cool down on Thanksgiving.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
If you're looking for something wholesome to do this weekend, this is it. Join the Type 1 diabetes community for a walk, picnic, and talk here at Cole Park this Saturday morning. One local couple taking part has been supporting T1D families for some time now, but this time they're shifting the spotlight to the community event they hope will connect even more people. When John Navarre calls hospitals, he says he always hears this.
And I tell him, hey, you don't know me. My name's John Navarre. I would like to send you guys 100 Barbie dolls.
And when the call comes back, it's usually the same reaction.
Oh my God, is this for real? Yes, this is very real.
If his name sounds familiar, it's because you've seen John and his wife Cheryl before.
So we just got done donating 100 dolls, 100 of the T1D Barbie dolls to Driscoll, and I'm happy to report that it has turned into a nationwide thing.
They've now donated Type 1 diabetes Barbie dolls to children's hospitals across 6 states.
There's 12 in here. You can see what 12 takes up. I've got 240, I think, at the house.
And they haven't forgotten about Corpus Christi. John and Cheryl will be at Saturday's Friendsgiving Walk and Talk, dressed as Barbie and Ken.
The Hummer rental place on the island has graciously agreed to give me a pink Hummer to use for the day for free. So we'll be showing up in style in a pink Hummer loaded up with Barbies. She's got her CGM and her pump, and these are the same kind of devices that these little girls have to wear in their day-to-day life.
Now, with their story getting more attention, they're aiming even higher. John has reached out to Robin Arizon, the Peloton VP, which the Type 1 diabetes Barbie is modeled after, hoping she'll help deliver dolls in New York City. He also contacted Barbie and Mattel.
If selling $15,000 worth of Barbie dolls isn't enough for you guys to take notice, I don't know what is.
Because they want girls everywhere to know, if Barbie can be anything,
the president and the astronaut and the military member,
then she can also be diabetic and still be all of those things. John and Cheryl have spent about $12,000 of their fundraised money so far and still have roughly $2,500 left to spend.
So if you guys see me driving around tomorrow on Saturday in a bright pink Humvee dressed as Ken, by all means flag me down. I'll give you the QR code so you can scan it and hit our GoFundMe up. I want to keep this going.
Friendsgiving at the park starts at 10 a.m. at Cole Park. The walk starts at 10:30. The event is free, but donations are accepted. In the Bay Area, I'm your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter, Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 News.
Well, it's hard to believe we are just over a month away from Christmas. Well, seeing is believing. Check it out at Water's Edge Park. Some of Santa's helpers were at hard work today transforming that park into a holiday wonderland. And yes, there was some assembly required. The 66-foot tall tree that's been in storage since last year is being put together today. The big tree lighting will be Saturday, December 6th. The tree topper will be placed on December the 2nd. Very fun. Oh my goodness. So that means, do you decorate like right after Thanksgiving, or are you kind of the early Christmas type of person.
Life happens, but I think Thanksgiving is the marker. You can start on Thanksgiving. We started listening to holiday music officially without judgment, so we're good. But will we have cold weather anytime soon? I think that we've got some good news for Thanksgiving. Take a look at this temperature graph. We're seeing a dip right for next Thursday, and that is going to be a perfectly timed cold front. So we're not talking super cold. We're just going to be a lot cooler than we have been lately. So I think on Thanksgiving we'll be waking up to some chilly temps and topping out in the 70s.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching Chris 6 News at 5 o'clock. We will see you here at 6.
Bye.